You're not going to believe how one family's hidden secret changed everything about their views on honesty. Honesty is the foundation of any strong family bond, but what happens when that foundation is cracked by secrets and lies? In today's video, we're going to dive into a shocking true story that will make you rethink the way you approach honesty with your loved ones. So, let's get started. When we think of honesty, we often think of it as black and white, right and wrong. But the truth is, honesty can be complex, especially within families. It's easy to get caught up in the fear of hurting someone's feelings or causing conflict, so we justify keeping secrets to avoid those uncomfortable conversations. But the consequences of those secrets can be devastating. When we hide the truth, we create an environment of distrust and suspicion, which can lead to even more lies and deception. And yet, we often convince ourselves that we're doing it for the greater good. Secrets have a way of festering and growing, until they become almost unbearable. The weight of carrying that secret can be crushing, and the fear of being discovered can be paralyzing. In the case of the family we're about to meet, their secret was so shocking that it changed the entire dynamics of their relationships. But before we dive into their story, let's talk about the common issue of secrets within families. How many of us have kept something from our loved ones, thinking we're protecting them, when in reality, we're only causing more harm? We've all heard the saying the truth will set you free, but why do we find it so hard to be honest with each other? Is it because we're afraid of being judged, rejected, or abandoned? Or is it because we're just not sure how to have those tough conversations? Secrets can be addictive, and once we start down that path, it's hard to turn back. We become masters of deception, thinking we're getting away with it, until the truth eventually comes out. And when it does, the fallout can be catastrophic. In many families, secrets are a way of life. We learn to keep quiet, to avoid conflict, and to pretend everything is okay, even when it's not. But the problem is, those secrets can haunt us for years, causing anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. So, why do we keep secrets in the first place? Is it because we're trying to maintain a perfect image, or because we're simply not brave enough to be honest? Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: secrets have the power to destroy relationships and even entire families. Okay, now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the story of a family who lived with a shocking secret for years. Meet the Smiths, a seemingly perfect family with a loving mother, a successful father, and two adorable kids. From the outside, it looked like they had it all, but behind closed doors, a secret was brewing that would change their lives forever. The Smiths were a close-knit family who always made time for each other. They would have family game nights, go on vacations together, and even have weekly dinners. But as time went on, the mother started to notice that her husband was becoming increasingly distant. At first, she brushed it off as work-related stress, but as the months went by, she couldn't shake off the feeling that something was seriously wrong. The father, John, would often come home late from work, claiming he was working overtime. But the mother, Sarah, would find strange receipts on his desk, receipts from restaurants and hotels they had never been to before. At first, she thought maybe he was just taking clients out for dinner, but as the receipts piled up, she became more and more suspicious. Sarah tried to brush off her concerns, thinking she was just being paranoid. But the seed of doubt had been planted, and it was only a matter of time before it grew into a full-blown investigation. She started to snoop around, looking for any evidence that would confirm her worst fears. One day, Sarah stumbled upon a hidden email account, and what she found left her reeling. Her husband, the man she loved and trusted, had been leading a double life, complete with a secret family on the other side of town. The revelation was like a punch to the gut. Sarah felt like her whole world had been turned upside down. She didn't know what to do, who to turn to, or how to process this monumental betrayal. The family's dynamics changed overnight. The kids were confused and hurt, the father was defensive and ashamed, and the mother was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered heart. The secret had finally been revealed, but at what cost? The emotional impact on the family was immense. The kids felt like they didn't know their father anymore, the mother felt like she had been living a lie, and the father was consumed by guilt and shame. The family was torn apart by the weight of the secret, and it seemed like there was no way to repair the damage. But as they began to work through their emotions, they realized that the shocking secret was not the problem, it was the lack of honesty and communication that had led to it. They started to have tough conversations, to confront their feelings, and to work towards forgiveness. The road to recovery was long and arduous, but the Smiths were determined to rebuild their relationships on a foundation of honesty and trust. They learned that honesty is not about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to face the truth, even when it's hard. So, what can we learn from the Smiths' experience? Firstly, honesty is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. It requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to be vulnerable. Secondly, secrets can destroy relationships, but honesty can heal them. In the end, the Smiths' shocking secret turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It forced them to confront their fears, to communicate openly, and to rebuild their relationships on a foundation of trust. So, what do you think? Have you ever experienced a shocking secret in your family? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about family dynamics and relationships, check out our video on the surprising benefits of family therapy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.